Hey everyone, in this tutorial we'll create a cool rigid body simulation where particles collide with a HomePod in Blender. We'll start by setting up a simple scene, adding a particle system and turning it in rigid bodies so that they can move and react realistically. I'll guide step by step, tweaking settings like mass, friction and bounce for the best results. Once everything's look good, we'll bake the simulation to keep it running smoothly. In this part, we'll focusing on physics. In part 2, we'll be discuss it further by doing lighting and composition. So let's dive into the tutorial. Alright, so here we are in Blender. So first thing we'll do is we'll add any object. This can be any object that you be collide. In this case I have this speaker. What I'm gonna do is I want some particles that will come from the y-axis and then collide and then just move in this orbit of this HomePod. So first thing we'll do is space. Let's hit a shift A and add some space, UV space, scale them down and just get here for the proportions. I want something like this. Okay, all good. Hit right click and click on shade auto smooth, shift D X, select both of them, shift D and select 4 of them and shift D Z. Okay, we got our particles again. I guess this is the good way. Now we'll add a rigid body for our speaker, but we are not going to add a collision here because we'll add a separate collider for our speaker. So hit shift A and add a cylinder, scale cylinder and make a rough shape about this speaker. So hit tab and I guess scale it down more, something like this. Yeah, it's good. Scale it and hit tab and press 3 to go in face. First add a scale to get a good bevel, increase the bevel and make sure to add some extra loop cuts for best results. I guess this is good. Okay, so we got our collider. I'll just parent this collider with the empty so that we can animate it in later. So one thing I forgot to mention, that you have to have some kind of knowledge of the basics of Blender. It's not a beginner tutorial, it will be an advanced tutorial, so make sure you have the basics of the Blender. Okay, the next thing we'll do is select our collider, add rigid body and make it passive, and make sure the collision is in cylinder. We are not going to change any the values right now, set it in later. So now if we hit the play button, nothing will happen because the gravitational force of these particles are too much. So let's go in this here, come down and set the gravity 0. Then we'll add a forces to attract these particles to collide with this collider. So force fields, and we'll add a harmonic here just to attract those particles. Go in physics properties and increase the strength of this harmonic, increase by 5000. Yep, yeah, they are colliding perfectly with our this collision. Select your collision. If you can't see the speaker, go to this right here, come down and go to viewport display and display as wire. Good. Now the second thing we'll do is we'll increase more strength of this harmonic by 9000 so that they can come really fast. Yes. And now to give them a rotation, we'll add a turbulence. Get the turbulence and let's see how it's going. No, they are still there, so increase the turbulence by 7000. And let's add a camera now. So let's go to front view, shift A and camera. I want the resolution by 2000 by 2000. I like the camera like this. Increase the focal length by 80 millimeter and move the camera somewhere around here. I'll upload part 2 for composition and lighting. For now I'll keep the camera like this, and let's see how the particles are going. To increase the bounce of the collider, so go to collider properties and increase the friction by 0.8. And again let's go to baking and bake the simulation and let's play. Yep, we got some bounce and friction. Read the bake, again select the collider, go to its properties and decrease the friction by 0.5 and increase the bounciness to 1. Go in first frame, select the first particle and increase the bounce by 1 for all the particles to 1. Go to baking and bake the simulation. Let's see how it's going. Yep, we got the bounce and we got everything. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. In part 2 we'll do some composition. For this we'll do some animation for the speaker and we'll do lighting also. So hope you like this tutorial. If you like, please hit the subscribe button and follow me on all my social media handles. All the social media handles will be in description. So thank you. We'll meet at the second tutorial.